The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another kick-ass episode of Still Toking with. Yeah, you already know who I am, so we don't really need to go there, I guess. It's all good. But we got a killer show tonight. But without getting into too much, the Flash himself, Mr. Jeffrey Mark.
I'm feeling very Silvery Moon tonight, so I'm
very
dressed
sparkly.
I try so hard.
Very sparkly.
Welcome. I'm excited. You know, it's one thing when we get to interview people I know and people who are friends, that's just a lot of fun. But when I get to meet someone I admire whose work I enjoy, in other words, I'm a fan, that's a different, special kind of fun. And we're going to have that tonight because our guest is someone, not just the work you might know him from on television. I'll give him a little intro, but as a stage actor, he is so admired. And he's worked on a lot of the same theaters I have, and he's done parts I would have loved to have played. And you guys also know him from one of my favorite TV series, House of Cards, which we're going to talk about how that's changed the world. That was just a record-breaking kind of thing. Mr. Sutherland on Mr. Robot. He's got a brand new project out, Redux Redux. We're going to talk about this handsome actor and lovely man, Jeremy Holm. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Man, what a great intro. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Wow, you actually did that pretty good. I'm almost
Maybe
impressed.
maybe Jeff, we'll see each other on the board someday.
I would love that.
You'll be stage right, I'll be stage left. We'll meet in the middle. We'll do a little thing.
Have
People
a little
will stand
dance
up and
number.
cheer. Yeah.
Right.
Jeremy, for you, I'll still dance.
All right, let's do it. I can do a jazz square.
Cool and yeah. Those of us who got started on the stage, it never quite leaves us, does it?
No, it's always in you. And actually, what's so cool, I'm having a full circle moment tonight because my daughter got a job. She's 15. Well, she's 14 now. She'll be 15 next month. She got a job running the soundboard at a local theater here where I live in Vermont, and she's actually getting paid, and she's working tonight. So I have to leave after this. I have to go, pick her up from the theater, I love it. Full circle moment.
If Bob Newhart shows up, walk away very quickly.
Emily, I had the weirdest dream.
Yes. See, I love you already.
That episode blew my mind. It was so meta before meta existed. I couldn't believe it.
For those of you out there who wonder what we're rambling about, Bob Newhart had two huge hit television series, and then we'll introduce our friend Jeff in 1 second. On one of them, he played Bob Hartley, a psychologist in Chicago, and Suzanne Pleshette played his wife. And then he followed that with an even bigger hit where he was an innkeeper in Vermont. And the last episode, he gets hit with a golf ball and wakes up, and the entire series had been a dream by the character in the first series, and he wakes up next to his wife from the first series. Just brilliant, just brilliant. And Jeff Holman has joined us. Gosh, we miss you even for 5 minutes.
Joe, that was a fuck show.
Oh, you
hear me all right?
Now I
Now
can.
I can.
You cut out for 1 second.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. The computer did an update, right? I set it up at 6:30. Everything's fine. I come up at 10:07. Oh, you got to restart your computer. Then it took me 5 minutes to get the goddamn headset to work again because it fucked everything up.
It's that other podcast messing with you.
It's something messing with me. I don't even know which microphone it's using at this point.
It's Bob Newhart's fault.
Oh, we'll blame Bob. Okay.
Yeah, why not? We might as well blame somebody. Got to blame somebody, right?
But yeah, as long as you can hear me all right, because it's not using the freaking regular microphone that's supposed to be. So
We can hear you fine, and Bob was a friend, and he'll take the blame.
okay, we'll blame Bob. How you doing, Jeremy?
Man, I'm good. I'm really good. Psyched to see you.
Nice.
You guys look good.
Yeah, last time we saw you was Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah, last spring in Vermont. That's right.
Yep. And I didn't get any chocolate or cookies.
I'm laughing because
it took you guys each 2 minutes to bring it up. Okay.
I brought it up backstage.
Oh, did I say
store, dailychocolatevt.com. Okay. Got the plug in.
There we go.
Yeah, plug it again. What was it?
dailychocolatevt.com.
Now that's Dawn's store.
It's my wife's store, and underneath there's a great cannabis store right underneath her store.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
you can't.
No matter which order you go in, it works.
Yeah, you can go in any order. Any order.
Right.
Chocolate below, weed, chocolate, weed, however you want to do it.
Well, see, I'm going to suggest to everybody in VT, go to the cannabis store first, then take a little walk to your car, couple of tokes, and then go to the chocolate store.
Yes.
Nothing like a stoner in a chocolate store that's already stoned.
So we've mentioned Dawn. It's a good to the next question. So you actually met your wife doing Anna Karenina in the theater. I mean, there's television and movies about stuff like that, but it actually happened to you.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I was doing Cyrano de Bergerac at the Shakespeare Theater in DC, and I got an audition from my agent. She said, it's tomorrow. I said, I have to have the first appointment because I got to be back for the show. So I took an overnight bus back to New York City. I auditioned, and on the bus ride back, because I had a show that night, it was a Tuesday, I had a show Tuesday night, my agent called and said, hey, you got the gig. So that was Anna Karenina. So I finished Cyrano. I'm going down to do Anna Karenina, and the company manager of the Clarence Brown Theatre picked me up, and she said, "Oh, Jeremy, it's so nice to meet you. You're going to be great in the show. We're so glad to have you. You're going to love your stage manager." And so I got to the rehearsal the first day, and the pencils were perfectly sharp, and all the scripts were perfectly aligned. And there's this beautiful woman sitting on a yoga ball at the end of the table. I'm like, oh my God, she's beautiful. And I came in for the Friday of rehearsal that week, and she said, "Mr. Holm, I just want to let you know rehearsal is canceled tomorrow because it's game day in Knoxville." And I said, "What are you talking about? We got like 10 days left." She said, "You'll understand tomorrow." So I said, "Well, would you like to go to the game?" So we've been married now for 18 years. We've been together for 21 years, and we have 2 daughters, and we watch every Tennessee Volunteer game together.
Cool and groovy, baby.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I love theater stories. I got
great.
started in the theater, and it's still my first love.
Yeah.
And she was sitting on a medicine ball?
A yoga ball. Yeah. Instead of a chair,
ball.
she was using a yoga ball. Right.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you remember, but that was pretty popular at the time, 2004, alternate chairs, knee chairs, yoga balls.
Yeah.
So she was.
Yep,
she was
I have
being
one
hip,
that's
I
down.
guess.
Yeah, I got one that's down in my cellar, deflated.
Yeah.
Not even going there with you.
17 punchlines, not one of them is appropriate.
Nope.
I
None of them.
skipped over them.
None of them.
Uh-huh.
I'll dig us out. You worked at one of my favorite places ever to work in a live theater, the Arena Stage in Washington.
Oh, but here's the killer, man. I did A View from the Bridge, and I played Biff in Death of a Salesman at Arena Stage, and
Both
some
Arthur Miller
amazing
plays.
Yeah, it was the Arthur Miller Festival, and I think he's the greatest American playwright.
I
And
agree.
And I'm sorry to my friend John Patrick Shanley. Yes, you're also a great American playwright, but Arthur Miller is maybe one of the greatest of all time in our country. And they were renovating Arena Stage, so we actually performed in Crystal City in across the way and across the Potomac. So we weren't actually at Arena Stage, but we had a great time. The show was great. Met Bill Delaney there, Delaney Williams, who's if you watch a lot of TV, you know who he is on Law and Order, and he always plays an asshole. So he's my other, like, I get to say, "Hey, asshole, how are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm good, asshole." We're both we're both always playing the bad guys, and we get to commiserate about that.
No, I agree with you about Arthur Miller, and Biff is one of my favorite parts in theater history. I was never the leading, I'm 5'7" and I'm just not that type, but I would have loved to have played Biff. What a great part.
It's a great part, although the same guy played Proctor in The Crucible, played Chris in All My Sons, and played Biff. And when he was playing Biff, he told Arthur Miller, when he was doing the memory scenes, he said, you can't, this is impossible. You can't play this. It's impossible. And so Arthur Miller rewrote it a little bit to make it make more sense. And if you've never seen that play, if you have a chance to see it live, it is so on point, and it's more true now than it's ever been. It's an incredible play. And my goal in life was to play all 3 of those roles, but I'm too old now to play Chris. I played Proctor and I played Biff, but I didn't get to play Chris. And now, I'm so old that I'll have to play Frank someday.
Which is not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh, and happy birthday, by the way. You just had one a couple of weeks ago, right?
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. It was a great birthday. I got to be around my girls and my wife, and they gave me a cool fire pit stoker. And, it's got like these big teeth and you can play with the fire. But the best thing about it is there's a blowhole in it so you can get the fire going again. It's like 4 feet long. It's incredible. If you need a great gift for someone who likes to play with fire, that's what you get.
or somebody who likes blowholes. Either way.
Yes. You guys like blowholes, right?
Well,
I'm sure you could hook a bowl up to the end, and instead of blowing, you could suck on it. Sure. This
Probably.
is over 18,
What-
right? I can say that.
Oh,
You
you can
can
say whatever you want.
say whatever you want. It's 18
Okay.
plus.
I'm clean and sober, but I vote for sucking on it. It's okay.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I thought you might.
I was waiting for it to go there.
I felt
I was
both of
waiting
your
for it.
I felt both of your energies. All right, I'll go for it. It's no problem.
So,
Yes,
well,
yes.
you brought up the gift. You brought up the gift of the fire stoker, and I know we want to get into a lot of stuff tonight, especially like things that you're involved with in the entertainment side of industry. But tell us about the hat you're wearing right now.
Oh, so this hat is obviously a New York City Fire Department hat. This hat was given to me by a man named Sal Casano, and Sal Casano became the chief of the New York City Fire Department on September 11th, 2001, when a body fell on the then chief. At that instant, Sal Casano became the chief, and I interviewed him for the 20th anniversary of the September 11th tragedy in an effort to raise money for the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. And he told me, we were down there at Ground Zero sitting on a second story roof overlooking the new memorial. It was new when we did this. And he told me, he said, Jeremy, you know, every man who walked into that building that day, a firefighter, knew that it was likely they weren't walking out, and yet they went up to see how many people they could save. I literally cannot get my mind around that act of heroism and the way that those men behaved, the sacrifices their family made. And so I'm wearing this hat because I'm going to do the memorial this year in New York City on Saturday night. And I'm speaking at the memorial, and they lost 157 firefighters this year, many of them due to the cancers from 9/11. So their families are still suffering, and this memorial is a way for all those families to be with the other families and to get some sense of feeling that they're not alone, some sense of comfort, and an homage to the gift that their loved ones gave to the people they saved, to the city that they kept together that day, and to the memory of their loved ones. So it's an amazing, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation is an amazing organization. And I told them, I said, I'll do anything you want, anytime you want, anywhere you want. And so I've been working with them for the last, 6 years or so.
Bravo.
Well, God bless you, my
Nice.
nice.
Bravo.
That's wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I wanted to bring that up right at the beginning, of the show versus later in the show, because sometimes people watch the show and then they tune out and they tune back in. And that's a very important part of you.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes they got to go
Yeah.
fill the bowl up again,
Well,
or,
yeah,
step out of the office, take another hit, whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it shows the type of person that you are
Yes.
Thank you.
outside of the entertainment industry. So, and
Well, I
bravo-
lived in the
bravo.
city that day, and I lived up on 54th Street, which is where the morgue was down there by the pier up on 50th Street. And so, we would see the families going there to, bring hairbrushes with hair so they could do DNA kits and stuff. And anybody who lived in the city that day has an understanding of what that was like, but we can't come close to knowing what it's like to be one of those families.
right.
And, it's nice to say thank you to a firefighter, but it's a little better if you can do something to help those families. So that's why I do it.
Right.
Oh, kudos.
Is there a website or a place if somebody wanted to donate to something like that? Why don't you give that a plug? I mean, and the reason I said is both Jeff and I, our dads were firefighters, local here.
Yeah, we did talk about that. I remember. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what brought it up, because you had the FDNY hat
Yeah.
on.
So
when we saw you.
yeah, they can go to firehero.org, which is the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. It always gets the best grades from GuideStar and all those .org assessors. They're a very lean team. They're totally transparent. They tell you where every penny goes. They don't have a big board that makes money. It's all volunteers as far as the board goes, and it's a great group of people. They're all from the fire service, And, you know, whenever they're raising money, they're raising it from firefighters. And I'm like, guys, we got to get other people to give you guys money. So thank you for the chance to plug it. I appreciate it.
You know, and just for our folks watching or listening, just check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, because that link is in the show notes.
Oh, thank you, man.
So, but
Well done, Benjamin. Well done.
okay, my job is done for the evening. It's all you guys. Take it away.
Das Vidania.
I'm going back into my padded room.
Очень хорошо.
Well, so are you
We are
still
speaking
doing
Russian
theater?
because Jeremy
With-
studied Russian.
That's true.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
How
And-
far did you get into that?
I did 2 years in high school and a year at the University of Colorado, at Colorado State University, but I couldn't keep up. I couldn't maintain it with the theater and stuff. So I stopped.
I see
Man,
that.
you did your research, dude.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's-
why don't you tell everybody why you wanted to study Russian?
Oh, well, I asked a counselor when I was in actually junior high. My counselor was a guy named Stan Lackey. That name might sound familiar to you guys because I went to West Jefferson Junior High School with Trey Parker. He was a year below me. And Stan Lackey was our counselor, and he was the guy that always said, okay. He was from Texas, and that's who they molded that South Park character on, Stan Lackey. And I asked Stan Lackey, I said, well, you know, I really want to go into the FBI or the CIA. And he said, well, Jeremy, okay, take a lot of science and take a lot of Russian. Take Russian and a lot of science, okay? And so that's what I did. And but then my life took a different turn. I wanted
And
to be in the FBI or the CIA.
And I know it just because I have a Russian background.
Really?
Would you order one of those brides?
No, my entire family is Russian.
Yeah, it was a mail order bride.
Right?
Very good, sir.
I'm doing this show almost a year. That's the best joke you ever made.
I mean, it was a 2-inch putt. Let's be honest.
Oh God!
No. Not doing that. Not doing that.
Gluply Chilovic.
Bring us back on track. Bring us back on
Spasiba,
track.
spasiba.
Are you still doing stage shows, or no? You done with that?
When my kid, I've got daughters, and they're I don't want to be away from them because they're in middle school and high school, or junior high and high school, and I don't want to be away from them. When you do theater, you're away for 6-8 weeks at a time. When you're doing film and TV, you know, I can be gone once for a month, or I can be gone for a week, but being gone perpetually for, 2 months at a time, I don't want to miss out on that. But once they're raised, I'll probably do some more theater.
I
Okay,
was
good.
gonna say, your daughter. You said your daughter's working, the soundboard at the local theater. Maybe she can nudge, and get Daddy a part at the theater. I mean,
They've asked me. They've asked me, and I'm like, well,
They can't
maybe
afford
sometime.
him.
oh well, he
No,
can play a tree.
I mean, I'm
Come
sure
on.
there are reviews that say my acting is wooden, so maybe.
I think you misread that, but
Yeah, I'm not going to touch the wooden comment.
yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a theater review. Okay.
Yeah, that was Grinder, but we won't go into that.
Jesus.
Comment
Oh.
on
As a stage, okay, I'm gonna make this legit now. As a stage actor, you work off Broadway, you work on Broadway, you work at a place like Arena, which is in the Round. People don't know that. And then the Brooklyn Academy of Music, which is this enormous. Do you prefer the more intimate, or do you like the huge stuff with acting and on a stage?
What I love is the variety. I did a Taming of the Shrew in a 6,000 seat theater in Shanghai, China once. And
Wow.
600 people stayed for the talk back afterwards. And our interpreter later told us that only about 30 of them spoke English. It was a really thrilling, experience. But also, I love intimate settings because you can be, as you know from doing theater, you can be smaller and more intimate, and your performance has to be more moderated. You can achieve a greater sense of the delicate, which is a very cerebral and interesting challenge to have. Big stages require more energy, and they require bigger size, and they tend to be less, not entirely, but they tend to be less delicate. So I like variety.
See, mostly when I did stage, mostly, not all, was musicals. So it didn't matter big or small because I still had there were no body mics back then. You had to actually get to the audience.
You had to blow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's acting talk for being loud enough, guys.
Yes. Deal with civilians like these two,
Hey, don't call me civil.
I have a story I want to share with you.
Please.
So I was doing a Little Night Music, which for those who don't know is a Sondheim musical. And I was playing Frid. It's a small part. It's a non-singing role. But there's one part where there's a big waltz number at the end of Act 1, and it's called Weekend in the Country. It's a big song. So, and we did it in the Round where I was at the North Shore Music Theater. And so I'm in the VOM. I'm ready to go on. I look over at the sound guy. And he goes like this. I'm like, did you just turn my mic off? He's like, sorry, dude. So I'm an actor who can sing and who can dance, but I'm not a singer. He turned my mic off right before I went on stage.
But there is a difference for me, a difference in energy from doing a musical or doing a straight play. When I've done Arthur Miller or I've done Tennessee Williams types of things, it's a whole different set of muscles. It's like being in athletics, but the difference between football and hockey or something. It's just, you have to learn all of it. It's why people like Jeremy do so well, because he knows his craft, and every part is different. Every theater is different. Every situation is different. If you're cookie cutter, you don't have a very long career.
That's right. I'm teaching an acting class right now, and students ask me, well, what's the difference between theater and film and television? Because many of them have done theater, but they haven't done film and TV. And I say, well, what's the difference between being a plumber and being a pipe fitter? You're doing something that's similar, but it's not the same at all. Some of the same techniques apply, but it's a different occupation almost. And so if you want to be successful in this business, you have to learn how to be a stage actor, a film actor, a singer, a dancer, a business person. You have to be good with numbers. You have to be smart. Now you have to know how to run your own social media. Like there's a lot of, you have to be a smart person to do it for a living.
These two gentlemen I'm sitting here with.
Despite my presence here.
No. These two gentlemen, Ben and Jeff, are the things you're mentioning. Really smart, really good with numbers, really good at their own business. I mean, it's why they're so good here, because they've got all of that going for them. I love them. I'm prejudiced, but I believe that.
And that's what
I thought I was just a
factor
pretty
for
face.
sure.
That's what we call virtual fluffing, folks.
Is that what that's called?
No, it's not. I would show you virtual fluffing, but they would take us off the air.
Come on.
Air.
Yeah, right. I mean, some of the guests we've had on here, they're not going to take us off the air. We've had literally, like you said, FBI, CIA agents. We've had spooks.
Yeah, and I've got a vibrator in this drawer right here, so don't push me.
All right, we're getting off topic, I think.
Okay, then. Oh, there's a topic?
All right, off camera, off of mic, I mentioned one of the big hit television series Jeremy has been a big part of, one of my favorites, and I asked permission to bring it up. And we're not going to discuss controversy, and we're not looking for gossip, but you are a big part of, I think, one of the most brilliant television series anywhere, House of Cards. And you mentioned that it changed the world. would you repeat what you said earlier? Because I agree with you 100%.
Well, remember, we used to get Netflix in the mail, and even then it was very like, oh yeah, Netflix, you can, you're not going to pay the fees that Blockbuster, you just keep it, and they'll charge you another rental fee, but they won't slap you with the late fees, and you can keep it as long as you want, and you can order, 5 or 6 DVDs, and then when you're done, you just put it in the envelope, and it's amazing. You don't have to go to the video store. Well, then Netflix decided to invest the money in streaming, and House of Cards was the first big show produced by Netflix that streamed, and it was really the first mega hit ever to stream. There were a few other things that streamed before it, but I remember Kevin Spacey going around and doing the talk show circuit and saying, give people what they want, when they want, how they want. And he wasn't talking about his sex life. He was talking about the streaming content. And, Netflix, Ted Saranda, they did a great job. Now everybody's doing it, and it's, of course, caused this disruption. But I think it's part of the reason your podcast is here. I mean, people got used to content on their device. They got used to being able to watch something when they wanted it. And you're never getting that genie back in the bottle. That's how it is forevermore.
And isn't it the first show that really showed the underbelly of the White House? Like West Wing showed you the wonderful parts of all of that. Didn't this show you? And they're both true. I mean, each one in its own way, but I can't think of any other film or TV show that showed you the negative of all of this and the manipulation of it. And I think it changed the world in that way too.
Well,
As
you're
an actor,
right. And part of the reason is that they were able, because it was Netflix, they could show whatever they wanted, right? They didn't have to worry about censors. And they also, the episode could be 52 minutes or 56 minutes or 48 minutes, whatever they wanted it to be. And we could talk more about somebody who broke that rule even more from another show I did. But House of Cards did a lot of things really well. Julie Schubert, who cast it, got amazing guest stars and supporting actors from New York City to play all those parts. All of the extras, like when you look at one of those scenes, like a Situation Room scene, most of the people who are sitting around the table as generals were retired military people, and some of them were generals. I still converse with this guy who was he was an intelligence specialist, and he was a lieutenant, and then there's another guy I'm friends with, and he has a company called Full Bird Intelligence, and he does security, cybersecurity, and so a lot of the extras were from the military, and so you have that insight on set. Not only that, they were able to write a storyline. Bo Willimon, who's the showrunner, was able to write a storyline just the way he wanted. Netflix said, here's the money for your 10 episode. Here's $200 million. We want no authority over it. We just want it when it's done. And that, giving that creativity and that freedom to the artists who are making it, is the key to quality. And so those factors all came together. And on the last day of shooting, I did a scene with Robin Wright in the Oval Office, and the crew was there, and they become your family. You work with these people for 5 years. You know about their kids. You know about what food they like. You hang out with them. And so on the last day, I said, hey, it's been such an honor to be on this set with you all. And no matter what, this will always be the first great show that's streamed, and you have a hand in making it. And what a great ride it's been. And I still am very proud of that show, despite what happened with Kevin and the way the show ended.
No, as I said to you off camera, I've never worked with Kevin. I know him socially. We've dined together. We're in Emmy magazine together. That's not important here. What was it like as an actor working with him?
Kevin is always prepared. He's never, even with the great magnitude of work he had to get done, he was always prepared. take was great. He would, do his Jack Lemmon impression between takes and then right back into it. He would sit on set reading the New York Times, and when it was time to go, back into the scene, he was ready to go. And he did set the standard for the quality of acting, along with Michael Kelly and Robin and everyone else in the cast. And it was a very, very high standard. He's a great actor.
Thank you. That's all I'm going to do about that. I love the show. I'm sorry it ended the way it did. And I loved you in it. I'm glad you were there.
Thank you. I was too. It was a fun ride. It was a beautiful, and I became pretty good friends with Michael Kelly. What a great dude he is. And, my favorite story from that show is on the last day. I had a driver who I always requested because we became friends. I would always sit in the front, and his name was Frank. And Frank is a union guy, great teamster. And on the last morning, I got up, I called the production team. I said, "Hey, can you make sure Frank picks me up at the hotel this morning?" And they're like, "Yeah, don't worry, he already took care of that yesterday." I'm like, "Oh, good." So he picked me up. We had a nice chat. I said, "You're getting me tonight, right?" He said, "Oh yeah, I'm getting you tonight." So it was a long day. We got done. It was a Thursday, and he's driving me back. It's like 5:30 at night. We know the traffic's going to be bad on 95 from Joppa down to Baltimore. And I said, "It'd be perfect, Frank." And he looked over at the armrest, and he pulled up the armrest, and there were beers in there. And he handed me a beer. And I won't tell the other part of the story because I don't want to get him in trouble. But we drove back to Baltimore, and then we sat in the hotel roundabout there in the Inner Harbor, and we had a beer together. It was fantastic. What a thoughtful guy.
How does one? And then I promise I'm going to shut up because I'm monopolizing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no.
Sure.
Jeremy, I don't always talk this much. I just enjoy your work so much. So please understand.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it.
When a controversy happens, when an actor, for whatever reason, is forced out of a show, what was it like for the people who were left? Because there was one season or two seasons beyond his going. They have to rewrite everything and sort of reshuffle without revealing anything you think would be embarrassing to anyone. What was that like for you as an actor and as a member of a crew?
Well, how it went down, I was actually on set in my new suit. I was ready to shoot. Someone came and got me and said, "Back to your trailer." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then they knocked on the door. They said, "Get back in your street clothes. We're taking you back to the hotel." And I'm like,
What did I do?
what did I do? And I believed that I had been fired. And it wasn't until, and then I flew home. I got all the way back here to Vermont, and then a thing came over Twitter that night. And I was like, I swore. My wife came in. I'm like, it's over. And it would have been over, except Robin Wright lobbied Netflix. She said, all these people have come from LA. They've sublet their homes. They think they have a job. They've given up other jobs. We really should finish this show just for the team. And, it was the right thing for Netflix to do. And it was a really courageous thing for Robin to do, because imagine how she must have felt in the midst of all that. I was proud of her and Michael, the way they led the cast. And Frank Pugliese, who ran the show that year, they did a great job, and I'm proud of the fact that we finished the show. All of us know it wasn't the best season. They were under the gun. They had to write all that material. Basically, they were drying off the pages before they handed them to us. So we did our best with what we had, and that's what you have to do in life. Sometimes it's not perfect.
Proud of you.
Well said.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Happier.
Mr. Holman. Go ahead, Mr. Holman.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
please.
I'll be honest with everybody. I've never seen an episode of House of Cards because I'm one of those pricks that refuse to pay for Netflix. Okay, so I've never seen that show. To me, you're the guy in the movies that I watch, because I really don't watch a lot of television shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I do want to commend you and say that, to me, your outstanding performance was in The Ranger.
Oh, thanks, man.
Okay, that's what I like. That's my style.
That was a
what I
fun
mean?
one. I've got a story
know, it
about
look-
that.
It looked
I've
like
got
you
a story
had
about
fun.
that show. So I was working at a restaurant in New York City, and it was a big steakhouse, $40 million a year steakhouse. And, you know, I was acting at the time. In fact, I was doing House of Cards while I was managing there. And a guy came up to me and he said, "Hey, I'm working on a script, and you know, you got mad at me the other night, and I think you should be in the script." And I was like, whatever. So a couple years later, this dude was no longer at the restaurant. He calls me up. He said, "Hey, I want to send you that script." I'm like, "What script?" So he sends me this script, and it's The Ranger. And I'm like, "This is great." So
Yeah.
I agree. They're like, they've got the money, they want to do it. So I agree. And the reason he did it was because I excoriated him for the way he cleaned the cappuccino machine one night. I mean, I was kidding, but like, I was such a dick to him about not getting it clean enough, and what was he doing, and why did he, you know? And he's like, "You're going to be perfect in this role." So The Ranger was really born of a situation that happened in a bus station in a restaurant in New York City. And of course, Jenn Wexler, who's brilliant, and Jaco Farina, who's brilliant.
Wow. Okay, well that gives me a different take on the whole movie itself, right there.
Yeah.
What?
You know what I
Jeremy's a dick?
Yeah, it was more natural than I really realized.
Well, also, you know, I grew up in the mountains of Colorado, and
Yep.
my older brother, Todd, is a range ecologist and a landscape architect. And if we were driving on the road and he saw someone litter, man, it pissed him, it ticked him off. He would turn red,
Yeah.
and he would get so mad, and he'd screech the car, and he'd get out and he'd pick up the trash. And so I was channeling my brother Todd as well while we were making the movie.
Okay.
No litter,
Yeah, I mean,
man.
I as a kid, I grew up in the woods of Maine, so you know, I mean, I'm right there with you. You know, I get that. You know,
We got one world.
So-
Let's take care of it.
Right.
exactly. So, and Silo was a great flick. I really enjoyed Silo.
Oh, thank you.
You know, The Herd, not my favorite, but it was still a very entertaining kind of, you know, it worked.
That's not
You
what
know,
you said on the phone earlier.
It worked.
Listen, I want to thank you and the other 40 people that have seen that movie. That is so nice. I really appreciate it.
You know, that's what I do. I look for those kind of offbeat films. And I actually watched those two movies before I even met you.
Wow. That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Well-
Because I search for that kind of stuff. And I watched the trailer for The Ranger, and I'm like, yeah, that's right up my alley. That's the shit I like right there.
Jenn Wexler, man, she is incredible. I can't wait to see what she does next. She's brilliant. You know, she co-wrote and directed that movie, and then she did Sacrifice Game a couple of years ago. Oh, great Christmas movie. That's what you need to watch for Christmas. Watch Brooklyn 45 and then Sacrifice Game. You will be ready to celebrate the holidays.
45.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep.
You know, well, it was the way that you handled the kids. I do it the same way, with the exception of the actual killing.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yes.
That they can prove yet.
Right. Well, you know, hey. don't
My
tell them
daughters
where
have
I
been
am.
asking me if they can watch The Ranger at their birthday party. I'm like, not yet.
Yeah.
You can watch it when you graduate from college.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, so
Just
yeah,
like
for all
After
that,
you've given birth to your first child, then you can
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, I want you to love me still. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Speaking
we-
about what's,
go ahead.
we probably will both do the same thing.
We're
Speaking
probably
about
segue.
what-
Yep. Go
what's
ahead.
coming next, let's talk about Redux Redux.
Oh, guys. I've seen this film now 4 times. I saw it at the premiere at South by Southwest twice. And then I saw it at Fantasia up in Montreal twice. And every time I've seen it, I find some new revelation in the plot. Now, keep in mind, I did the movie and I've read the script probably 50 times before I even set foot on the stage. These guys, the McManus brothers, who did 13 Cameras and Block Island Sound and American Vandals, they are brilliant. I don't know how big they're going to blow up, but watch for it because they're going to blow up. They're so talented. They're twins, right? So you'll do a take, and one twin will come, like before I knew them, one twin would come in and say, hey, this is when I did Block Island Sound for them. One scene, great scene. And they come and give me a note, a little faster. Okay, do the scene, go faster. Then the other twin would come in and say, yeah, maybe a little slower. So, they do the scene again. And these guys are brilliant. They write the movies together. They direct the movies together. And their sister is the star of Redux Redux, the story of a woman who travels through the multiverse, avenging the abduction and murder of her daughter. And she gets addicted to it. And the ride is just fantastic. Michaela she's one of the best American actors I've ever worked with. And she is beautiful and she's incredible on set, and she's just dynamic in the movie. So I hope you guys have a chance to see it. I'm hoping an announcement is made soon about its release. It's getting I think a 300 theatrical release. So hopefully you'll be able to see that soon.
Nice. Wow. So
I'm an extra in it. It's not a big part.
Well, you've done a lot of stuff that you've been an extra in. A scene here, a scene there.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy doing that?
I actually play the bad. I was kidding. I actually play the bad guy in Redux Redux, and I've never died so many times on set. It was a lot of fun. I'll do. If someone offers me a part and the script is interesting and I'm attracted to the material and the director, and I'm free, I'll probably take the part because I just want to always be learning and be doing the craft.
Doing it for the love.
Yeah. I mean, the money doesn't hurt. But...
So, what's I don't even know if this is actually accurate, but was it Postmaster General? Is that a podcast?
That was a COVID project, and it was a story about how the postal zip codes came to be, and it was a project that was produced by the guy who produced Silo and the guy who produced Herd got together to make this project, and I think we did it in like 2 days, and I didn't even know it was released.
Here's a trivia question for you, Jeremy. When the zip codes were released in this country, they hired a very big star to sing a radio commercial for the zip codes. Any idea who it was?
It was a woman.
It was. I'll make it easier for you. A woman I've written a book about.
Oh, really? I don't know. I'm not going to remember.
Ethel Merman.
Ethel Merman, that's right.
And if you ever want to hear it, I have a copy of the commercial.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh, that's so cool. You must have a huge room of treasures somewhere. Guys, take it easy.
You could have just stopped at you. You had to add the rest of the sentence to that.
Like, you can't even get in the door before they're like dogs slobbering. Ready to just...
The honest truth is,
Mr. Mark, I don't know how you stay on the mark with these guys.
I have been doing this professionally since I'm 15, and most of what it's in here, and everything else is digitized. Otherwise, I would have no room for it.
Gotcha.
But you're right. At one point, I lived in places where it was just stuff, and I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But isn't it fun to know all this stuff? It's what actors do backstage. It's what actors do on a set. you
Yeah.
talk about this trivia from your careers and people you admire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
I have a question for you. When we've asked similar questions to other actors who've been on the show, you did get some early experience doing soap operas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
I was, but I let him go to it.
I believe soap opera work is very legitimate and is wonderful training for actors. How do you feel about it?
I got home today and there was a soap on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch 3 minutes of this. And by a minute in, the PSTD came back and I turned it off. Yeah, I did a little bit of soap work, All My Kids and Guiding Light. And, I played a cop in a flashback, and the lead actress, I was taking her baby away, and the lead actress, when it came ready to roll, she actually punched me in the mouth. I'm like, what are you doing?
As the world turns, baby.
I played a character called Sharky on As the World Turns, I think it was. And it's an early day. It's fast. You're doing 20 pages a day. It's crazy. It's crazy fast. And it's a great training ground. It's a great place to learn efficiency, and you can learn the technical stuff about acting for a camera. I didn't love it, though. I'll be honest. I didn't love it. It was exciting to be on a soap, but for about 15 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, next.
Were you working off of a teleprompter, or did you actually memorize lines?
Oh, no, I'm a theater guy. You won't see me use, I do speeches a lot, and I always learn them just in case the teleprompter goes. I try to learn it.
So, just real quick, I noticed the time is 8:00.
No way.
That went fast. That
was
went
like 5 minutes.
Like, you were fucking late, so
Well, hey, blame Microsoft.
So, and the reason I say that is because I know you have to be somewhere to pick your daughter up relatively in the near future. So we have about 8 minutes left of the actual show. So what I want to do is spin this real quick, because I don't want you to be late picking up your daughter. But Mr. Holman, any last questions for this guest?
Well, it's funny. I was sitting here, and it might have been in my head.
It was.
It might have been at your house, but I heard a cat.
Yeah.
Was that your cat?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was your cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the cat's like, hey, you always bring your granddaughter down like right at the end of the show or something, and she's on the screen. I want a little bit of attention. He actually tried to jump up in my lap. That's why you saw me go like that.
So that was your cat. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jeremy,
brick.
what's your favorite animal? Or critter?
My answer is going to be kind of weird, I think.
Cool.
It's a chicken.
Because...
Right now, it's a chicken. Well, we have
chicken.
chickens. I mean, I keep bees, so I should say bees. They're not really an animal.
Okay.
But chickens are incredible. They're really smart. They recognize faces. They know up to 100 different voices. You can recognize their different sounds they make if they're hungry, or if they're in danger, or if they're just glad to see you. If you ever sit with a chicken in your lap and just pet it, it's very calming. I never had chickens before I moved to Vermont, but my girl Ellis and Sagan, they wanted chickens, so we got chickens, and they're great animals.
A chicken in my lap.
Right now, my answer, and I know it's a ridiculous answer, I love chickens.
Even I prefer petting pussies. Come on.
Right. Well, okay. Well, chickens also, they will eat anything, right? I mean, it takes a while, but you can get rid of a body with a chicken, or a bunch of chickens.
You have to chop it up really small for them to do that. They're not gonna.
Oh,
you have to. It's better if you chop it up really small. Then they'll.
You're thinking about pigs. You're thinking about.
Well, I know pigs will do it, but
pigs, you don't have to chop it up. You can just put it out there. They'll eat it.
You just
chickens,
put it out
you need
there.
to chop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I've done that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you
they're
did
also
that.
cannibals too, because I know a buddy of mine when he roasts chickens and stuff, he throws the carcass out there and the chickens devour it up,
Yeah, they
which is kind
they
of, you know,
every chicken will
and
eat about 300 ticks a day. So if you're in an area that have ticks and you let your chickens out in your yard, ticks
Yep.
be gone.
Yep.
All right,
Oh.
you brought it up. Tell us about your bees.
Oh, bees are incredible. I love bees. I did this TV show, ABC show called What Would You Do? And the producer that hired me, we did like 50 episodes together, and he quit the business.
Yep.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to keep bees. I'm like, you're going to what? So now this guy, he's still doing it. I don't know, 15 years later. He has 100 hives in and around New Jersey and Manhattan. He keeps at hospitals and restaurants and private homes and libraries and parks. And so when I moved to Vermont, with my girls and my wife, we keep bees. And bees, there's one queen, she lives 3 years. All the other bees live about 32 days. They make honey. They live in the cold environment. They live in the heat. They don't bother you. They're not going to sting you unless you mess with them. They go out, they pollinate things, they make you honey. They're incredible animals.
I agree.
So now that you brought up bees, have you ever seen the cartoon Bees, the actual movie that they made?
The bee movie, yeah.
You
Yeah.
look, you have a striking resemblance to the lead jockey. The jockey. Well, they have jockeys and they have regular bees, and one of the regular bees goes out with the jockeys one day, but he has that striking resemblance in the face.
It's me and Patrick Warburton and one other dude. No,
You're right.
People say it all the time. And then I get Joaquin Phoenix. I'm like, yeah, that guy's a good looking dude. There's one other dude, but the main one is Patrick Warburton. Yeah.
I see.
Right.
As soon as you said
So-
that, I saw it.
So, Mr. Jeffrey Mark, any last questions?
I don't have a question because he needs to pick up his daughter. Just
I'm fine. I'm fine at time.
in our private chat, Jeremy, I left you my phone number. You come to the West Coast, dinner is on me.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
He's handing out dinners, right? Did you hit the lottery?
well, be careful of dinner on me, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, when you come to Vermont, I'll bring chocolate and honey, which I could also ship.
I'd
ship
love
it.
some honey. I'd love
Right.
some honey.
Well, I'd much
right.
rather have you come to the event and just hang out.
All right. Well,
We'll
see what happens. If I'm around, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually very nice meeting you there, meeting your wife. I believe we met both daughters.
Yeah, you did. And you were
Yes.
so friendly.
Yep.
Thank you. You guys were actually, for me, you guys were the highlight of that experience. So thank you.
Aw,
Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
that
No,
was
thank
cool.
you.
I believe
That's
it.
cool.
I believe it. I love these guys.
I mean, just for our viewers and our listeners, it's the Vermont Sci-Fi, Fantasy, and now Horror Expo in Essex Junction, Vermont. Jeff Folb is an amazing promoter, and he did the first year horror thing last year, which was this past spring, which is where we met you. So I can only see the horror side of this event
Growing. Yeah. It's gonna
growing exponentially over the years.
One can hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I actually lied. I do have a question.
I figured that's why
We
I
talked
said
about
Redux.
Redux, but Jeremy, like, what's next? What's down the line that you maybe haven't finished yet, or I've scared him away?
No,
There he is.
Sound was weird. I thought it was me on the sound.
Yeah, your mic.
Is it my mic?
Yeah.
Yeah, the signal's
Okay.
a little choppy, that's all.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
You gotta get the chickens out there running faster.
Something that's crazy. So I'm looking at producing a film called Gray Mountain, which I pitched it at Fantasia Fest this year. And so we're close to getting our funds raised. We have the cast. It's a sci-fi horror thriller about about a man who's been estranged from his family and his search for the truth, because the truth is out there and disclosure's coming.
It's kind of, yeah.
Cool.
Well, if you need extras, I mean, Jeff and I are only 3.5 hours away. Just saying.
Or if you ever have a part for an aging redhead, let me know.
Okay. There's a big demand. There's a run on those right now. There's lots of redhead work coming.
Yeah. But I did hear there was work out there for a lot of older men because they're very hard to cast. You know,
but where are you talking about?
I don't know. Somewhere out there, they said.
Oh, well, we're making this in Nevada, so you know.
Oh,
So that's
Jesus.
closer to me.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot closer to him.
That's a
Let me
flight
know when
away.
you make one. Yeah, I'll come to Vermont.
Well, we don't have a tax credit here, so it's not likely we'll be making.
But I will come to Nevada. Absolutely.
Right.
All right.
But I heard, was it Pennsylvania? Or was it New York State that had a decent tax credit starting?
New York, Illinois has a great one.
Yeah.
Georgia has a great one. Louisiana has a really good one. California's is pretty good. The best one is Illinois, though.
Nice.
Yeah,
Doesn't Massachusetts have one too? Didn't they start?
they
one?
do. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the highest in the country, just like every fucking thing else here. Just
No,
saying.
the highest one is Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay Pritzker is very friendly to the arts.
Yeah.
Well, okay, then let me rephrase it. It's probably the lowest one, taking
In
the most money.
Massachusetts, yeah.
It's the lowest
You
of
know,
the
there's
highest.
a spin-off of Blue Bloods being made in Boston and Toronto called Boston Blue. So, you know, you might see that on the streets of Boston here this coming year.
And they're filming a bunch of stuff here. They're doing that freaking spin-off of The Walking Dead right now in Worcester.
Dale Dixon or whatever, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. and his wife's company, Susan Downey, their company is based in Boston. Their film production company.
Right.
So they make a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Actually, they were just in Hanson. They were doing some filming at the the Kiwana Club or whatever the hell it is, where all the cabins are.
Yep. Yeah. So,
Well, guys, I'm going to jet. It's
Thank
such
you
a
very
pleasure
much, Jeremy.
to hang with you guys, and I wish you good health and lots of exciting adventures this winter. And we'll see you down the road somewhere.
all right, man.
Look forward to it.
Take care and enjoy. Hopefully, we'll see you in the spring, and if not, we'll just have to make it a trip. I mean, it's just easy enough.
Well, if
All
we're
right.
in Vermont, I'll go to the chocolate place.
Do it. And Mr. Mark, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for indulging in a little theater stories. A lot of people don't talk about that stuff, so it was fun to dive into that. Thank you.
My pleasure, Jeremy. Seriously.
Yeah, cool. All right, have a good one, guys.
All right,
right,
you
take
too.
care.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
So, if you want to know more about Jeremy, folks, just check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. All his links are there. So, Mr. Jeffrey Mark,
Yeah.
where can people find you on the social medias?
On Facebook. My name is spelled right beneath me there. Look for me there. The same name, Jeffrey Mark Showbiz, all one name on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Or you can find me working someplace else on many of these same channels and platforms. We have two sister shows. GPE presents Jeffrey Mark plays Ella Fitzgerald. Every week we play Ella's music on a theme. Ben produces the show. Jeff sprinkles his love all over it. So it's all three of us. And you can hear that every week. And we're doing a 5-episode special. GPE presents Jeffrey Mark plays Merman. So we're doing Ethel Merman's recordings. And as always, I give you all kinds of trivia and backstage stories and insights and all that jazz. And we're getting such a good feedback from Merman. We may do Jeffrey Mark plays Martin, Mary Martin. So lots of stuff coming your way. And of course, we're always interviewing the most interesting people in the world on our show here. So there.
Mr. Omnivolate.
Don't go down that road or path, as the case may be. See, path, yeah.
Bust your ass a little bit.
I was like, what the fuck?
I know you. That's what you sent me. What the fuck?
I know. I screenshotted the thing. It's all fucking doing its little fucking twirly gig thing, fucking updating this, updating that. It's like, what the fuck? Anyway, you know, it's Jeremy was awesome. I love Jeremy. If you get a chance, watch his shit. Because he's just so talented and he plays a really good psycho, you know.
Yeah,
that's what I like. He plays a really, really good psycho. So, but as far as us, just go to stilltoking.com, Talking with the Dead on Facebook. And as far as me, you know, go ahead and Google Jeff. Have fun with that.
Right.
And now that I can see your t-shirt in close up, I like that.
New England
That
Stoner.
was-
Yep.
Yeah, that was a 3-day music festival that we did as guest vendors. We met some really cool people, like, you know, frontmen from famous bands and stuff that had their own side stuff. But holy shit, man, 3 days at a music festival set up next to the fucking PAs. Woo!
Yeah, 40 bands in 3 days. It was
40
psycho.
bands in 3 days. You know, if we had thought about that prior to going, we could have literally bought 400 cases of earplugs and made a ton of fucking money. But in all seriousness, you know, Jeremy, we want to thank him for coming out, taking time out of his busy day to hang out and chat with us, even though he had to bail a little early, but he's got to go pick up his daughter at work.
Mm-hmm. I didn't expect a chicken though.
I did not even go down that road.
No,
Chicken.
no, I didn't
Nothing
expect
like
the chicken.
Nothing like patting a chicken on your lap, and I was like stroking the cock.
I couldn't help think about lyrics that Gilda Radner sang on Broadway
Right.
to the song
Oh,
Let's Talk Dirty to the Animals. And
Right?
the end of one stanza was, let's tell a chicken to suck chicken. Frankly, I don't care. So I shared it with you now.
Right. But you know, we've got a lot of great guests coming on the rest of this season. Next week we have Jeffrey Voorhees. So we're gonna have 3 Jeffs on the screen next week, but only one that's important. You guys can figure out which one that is. But for our viewers, Jeffrey Voorhees was Alex Kittner in Jaws, which is the 50th anniversary this year. One of the most epic kill scenes
Ever.
in theater history. And then we're going to close out this month with an OG, and I mean a real OG, and a gentleman that we consider family, Mr. Tony Moran, who played Michael Myers in the original Halloween.
Yeah.
So right before Halloween, we got Michael Myers. And that's all I'm going to tease you guys with right now. So to all our veterans and first responders, we want to thank you for doing what you do so people people like us can come up here and do what we do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Have a happy.